In this rather large box here, I have Teclast's first Apollo Lake tablet. It's 11.6 inches with a 1080p screen, a kickstand, similar kind of style like a Surface, Microsoft Surface Pro 3 or 4 you could say. Now, it's one of the first also to have 6 gigabytes of RAM. So they're starting now to move away from 4 gigabytes, finally, and we're getting 2 3 gigabyte RAM modules on there from Samsung, so it is still dual band. If you're wondering, oh, that's a strange configuration, 6 gigabytes, it is, but not when it's 2 3 gigabyte chips there. So this one I picked up from AliExpress, and yes, just like always, I got DHL shipping, so it comes with the territory. You always have to pay taxes. If you don't want to pay taxes, then go for the free, slower shipping methods. Seems to be very well packaged, and I should have the keyboard too. So they've used that super bubble wrap, I like to call it. We've got the stylus there, which is an active stylus, and then the keyboard type cover for it. And here is the tablet, which I will have a look at first. So let's have a look and see what we get in the box first. So just check out the accessories. So it has a small little power supply, US prong of course, and that is DC in charging. This is rated to 12 volts, 2 amps, so pretty standard there. Okay, yeah, so that is just a quick start guide, how to factory reset, gestures, all that sort of stuff, English and Chinese. Okay, so I can see it's, as expected, not fully laminated. There's the gap between the digitizer glass and the IPS below. Looks reasonably large, about 1.5 millimeters, I would guess it to be there. And you can see, well, rather large bezels, and it's got this darker grey color to it now. So this is made out of metal. Along the top here, that is plastic for the wireless antenna reception. So I'm not too sure if we've got wireless in or it is wireless AC on this. Of course, I hope for wireless AC. And a kickstand, of course, so that you can prop it up. So you got the first position there, and then the second one, and that's it. It's not a free range kickstand. You can't move it. The infinity type ones, you can move right back in whatever range you want there, unfortunately. So left and right, just up here, they're a little hard to see, are 2 front-facing speakers, and then up the top we have a 2 megapixel webcam. So right on the top we have a power button, and below that on the left side a 3.5mm headphone jack. There's a micro USB 2 cable here. Now it's got like a little charge logo on there, so this must be used for charging your devices. So it's got like a battery power pack kind of feature to it there, and then the volume up and down buttons here, which I can feel both of these are made out of plastic. On the top here we have a little microphone. It's that little dot here, DC in there for charging, HDMI out, and then a USB 3 port, which is full sized of course, which is great. But to me these ports are kind of located in the wrong place. They should be down the bottom of the tablet, because if you're going to have a cable plugged into this, it's up in the air instead of going along your desk and then into the tablet. Just to point out that those little marks you can see there, they're just dust or air bubbles under the screen protector. So it comes with a pre-applied screen protector. Now if you're wondering where is the micro SD card slot, well here it is. It's located behind the 2-stage kickstand, just like the Microsoft Surface Pro series does. They've got their micro SD cards also located there. And the hinge here, you can see that's made out of metal. This backing is screwed in. Now I've given the tablet a little bit of a flex, applied some pressure to it, and it doesn't budge at all. The build quality so far seems really good. It's very solid and well put together. Placing the tablet now to the side for a second, let's have a look at the stylus and keyboard. So it's designed just for this model here, the X3 Plus. Hopefully it has a good build quality. Oh well, as expected, the touchpad, that's tiny. Look at the height of it, that's so small. Okay, so that's going to have obviously very limited use to it. So it clips in with magnets there. You can see the pogo pins. and it has marked up the top there. It's the T3 is the model if you're looking for one, and that thickness of it seems okay. It's got this kind of, it's not a fabric, it's not like the surface type covers. This is made out of more of like a synthetic. Have a look and see how this docks in. Okay, you just hold it up there, then the magnets of course take care of the rest, and that does have a second raised level, so you can increase the typing angle of that and just press down on there. I'm pushing really hard actually on this, and it's not too bad. There's a little bit of movement to it, but overall seems rigid enough. Now key travel looks to be around 2mm, I'd say slightly under, maybe about 1.9, and keys feel good. They've got a nice response to them, a nice feel, and they don't sound too loud. Now looking at the keyboard here, I can see it does have a shortcut for the brightness controls, which is great. I can't see volume up and down on here, but they do have a limited space on there, don't they, really? But delete keys there. Where's my print screen? Okay, print screen is on there at least. And we've got page up, page down, home and end along here. But it doesn't seem to, well, it's got the function key, sorry, along here. So to get those brightness controls, you'd have to use that function key. And this looks to be to disable that tiny, weeny little touchpad it has. So taking a look now at the stylus, which I got of course too. So there's just a little instruction left in there. And it doesn't seem to have a battery because it must be built in. I can see that it does have a micro USB 2 port on the end of it. So we'll have to plug that in to charge it. And there's a button there at the top to turn it on. And it does come with 3 spare nibs there, which you don't see. In fact, this is the first time I've seen styluses out of China come with some spares here, apart from of course those Wacom ones you get with the Cube i7 book and stylus. Alright, time to power it on. Hopefully there's some battery in here. Normally there is. 9 out of 10 times there is. So this only has Windows 10 on here. Unfortunately we're not seeing any dual boots, not with the Apollo Lake, the newest chipset from Intel. They just don't seem to be doing them anymore. It's just Windows only. I'm hoping that's going to change. I think it's got something to do with the drivers. They just don't have drivers or support yet to put the Android ROMs on there and create a dual boot BIOS, or no one's come up with a dual boot BIOS system yet for those ones. But I do hope that will change. So these here are the setup languages. We've got English, Spanish, French, Russian, Chinese, and Korean. Okay, so Windows, we've got 42.8 gigabytes free. And I brought up the memory, so we do have 6 gigabytes on there. It's saying 4 of 4 slots used, but it's apparently just 2 chips in there. Anyway, that's running at 1600 megahertz, and they have reserved 167 megabytes to the GPU, probably to help speed things up here. Now, there's a couple of things in here that, well, one that isn't so good. When it comes to the wireless, that yes, it is unfortunately just wireless N. I was really crossing my fingers, hoping for wireless AC like we've seen in the other Apollo Lake devices and tablets that have just recently come out. And the disk drive is a SanDisk DF4064. So it's running Windows 10 Home. I need to connect up to the internet to activate it, but I don't see myself having any problems with that there. So I've powered on the stylus. You can see a little blue light has come on at the top there, telling me that it's on. And let's have a look and see now if it is pressure sensitive. Accuracy seems good. And nope, that's not pressure sensitive at all. It's just got that one set level. So this really is just going to be a more accurate pointer on the screen, and really useless for work with art and Photoshop and Mischief and other sketching applications where you need that pressure sensitivity. Clearly this isn't the stylus you want to be using. Not one that's just one level, which I like to call dumb styluses. Oh, and just to add that there is no hover feature with it, and palm rejection only works when it is touching the screen. But when you're just holding it just above, you can see that my finger is still registering there, and it has to touch, then it doesn't register. Now to demonstrate the screen brightness, so at the moment it's set to 100%, which looks bright enough. Here indoors, at least that's looking good. Not too bad, no complaints so far with it. Perhaps it could be a tad bit brighter. Now this is 0%, so it dims right down very nice. 25, 50%, and then 75. So time to have a listen to those two front-facing speakers. Hopefully they're going to have some volume to them. I doubt they're going to have any bass. But anyway, I'll play the same track I always do so you can compare that to other tablets. So, 100% So they were peaking around 86 decibels. They've got a bit of volume to them, but you can hopefully hear in the video there's a little bit of distortion to them. They tend to vibrate. So they're not great speakers, but they are at least reasonably loud. So I've typed on the keyboard a little bit. It feels great to me, not bad at all. I like the springiness of the buttons. So the quality of the keyboard is good. The touchpad, however, ooh, it's just not high enough and not really that good. So it does have gestures. You can see double tap, right click there, and incorporated left and right mouse button. So it's not just all gestures, but that height of it means that I think I'm going to be using a mouse and not this, a Bluetooth mouse or something else. So the tablet weighs 880 grams. Type cover is an additional 321 grams. So altogether, you're looking there at 1.2 kilos, which isn't too bad, I guess. The tablet's thickness comes in at just over 10 millimeters. So I've just done my little USB external hard drive test. This is a 1 terabyte drive, and I can report that yes, it will power it and you can access external hard drives, which is good to see. Alright, so that's the unboxing and preview of the X3 Plus here, which is the first Apollo Lake and 6GB tablet from Teclast. Build quality is good, type cover feels good to type on, no complaints with that. Touchpad's too small, the speakers have decent amount of volume to them, but they're not really quality speakers. Screen looks alright. It's disappointing to see we only have wireless in on here, not wireless AC. The competitors are all using wireless AC now. The stylus, of course, disappointing. It's only just a more accurate pointer. That's it. It doesn't have any pressure sensitive levels on there. So we'll be back with my final review and opinion on this. Hopefully I will catch you back in the channel then. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye for now.